To state ARK is an addictive game would be an understatement, owed to a variety of mechanics cut and grinded together, rolled out to a drug you can't get enough of. But what is the secret ingredient? You're right kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to another top 10 as voted by you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share around and let's get into it. So in at number 10 is trolling. Where would ARK be without a little trolling? A necessary creation in a game that facilitates so well, an ease of making a survivor's journey just that little more frustrating. Whether it be a simple haircut, an imprisoned Bob, or a repeat tirade on those beautiful thatch huts, there's an unjustifiable but satisfying feeling of making someone's day a bad one. Most likely more in line with PvP, the open sandbox game gives you free reign to interact with players how you'd like, and it seems many of you favour a good old fashioned grief. In at number 9, levelling creatures. Tamed or bred dinos come in all shapes and sizes, but to truly evolve them into unstoppable forces of nature, you'll need to pump those levels. In most cases, melee and health being the go-to stats, but to max those out you're gonna need a lot of levels, and depending on your server type could take a long way to get there. There's a variety of XP fulfilling grinds, like killing alphas, titanosaurs, baby gigas, combined with some shop floor delicacies like a grinder and explorer notes too, can make that level run a more satisfying fix for an otherwise laborious addiction. In at number 8, drop running. Resonating well with this one, there's something complete about fulfilling a drop run at the start of the day, especially if you're set up for one. See, there's the standard airdrops that have certainly come a long way from C4 blueprints on Island to dripping tech on Gen 2. But the real runs are the glorious pedestal levitating loot crates found traditionally in caves and underwater. And once set up with both knowledge of the varied spawns and the means to run as quick as possible, can see you take home some of the best loot ARK offers. And with great reward comes a great thirst for more. In at number 7, meat running. Coinciding a little with number 9, once bestowed upon a melee machine, it never tires to go on a beach barricade expedition, witnessing your once cuddly steed metamorph into a bulldozer, making all other wilds and size snacks, each boosting your inventory with slots of meat until you can't swallow anymore, ready to take home and complete the circle of life. Bonus points given of course if the pathway isn't a bumbling confused wild, but an army of tamed creatures being left in the heart of a base you've raided into, each and every one offering an inch of menacing tyrannic fulfillment as you reduced your opposition's prized possessions to little more than the meat you'd have gotten otherwise. In at number 6, egg stealing. Like number 10 on this list, there's not many opportunities given to troll a wild creature, other than stealing their unhatched young from right under their noses, and with many opportunities than ever to do so, whether it be the fiery pits of a wyvern trench, the hazardous depths of a drake cave, or the volcanic tombs of magmasaur craters. Stealing any egg triggers a Metal Gear style alert system, as all eyes converge on your thieving self to stop and kill before you can escape to safety. The forbidden fruit never tasted sweeter in ARK as you brave death-defying runs to an easy imprinted creature. Just don't forget a whip for ease, or better yet, a handy oviraptor to snatch an egg without any eyes being batted. In at number 5, exploring. The worlds of ARK are vast, with ever expanding areas, caves and secrets to wander into, with each map boasting a huge, living breathing world of tales awaiting, each corner turned unveiling the next potential chapter of your own personal story, and many even veteran survivors yet to discover every nook and cranny. There's a gratifying feeling of unfolding the next piece of the map. Every player begins their own ARK-sized Christopher Columbus tale somewhere, and many of you simply can't get enough of the next picturesque scene to stamp your worn trodden feet upon. In at number 4, breeding. For especially players who enjoy the long game, nothing offers more in spades than hatching baby dino after baby dino, each offering the potential to be a bigger, better version than its predecessor. Breeding for one allows players to cuddle their way to a boosted creature, especially when ridden, but the game truly comes into its element once mutations are understood, not only potentially offering all of the colours of the rainbow with each baby born, but more importantly an improved statistic in a randomised game of will they or won't they, seeing you slaughter hundreds if not thousands to get that all important melee stat. Helped along much easier now with egg incubators. With many hacks available to make breeding just that little bit more easier too, those who want a prolonged fix can't argue with this. In at number 3, building bases. Surprisingly, with a wide variety of survival building games available, there's not many that can really touch the addiction of glorious epic builds in ARK Survival Evolved, with its wide variety of snappable tiers offering anything only imagination is limited by. From a thatch 1x1, eye-watering PvP builds to frame reducing structures of glorious purpose, there's a house for every type of player to create. Throw in game-breaking, spoon-bending mechanics, infinitely beautiful tiers given in mods. If building is your vice, then you've got a well-served plate to bury your nose into. In at number 2, starting a new game. Not too far off number 1, it's a surprise to learn for some that starting from scratch is a highlight you can't get enough of. The race to establish yourself something remotely decent, requiring a path of consequence as you go from thatch to wood, stone, metal and eventually tech, braving the odds initially as you strengthen yourself and your creatures, puts the survival in ARK more than anything else. And once attained a status of power, many of you yearn for that itch once again, to feel weak and defenseless, shrinking you back down to that wondering, fearful Bob you once were. And so you do, again and again and again, beginning at day 1, each time attempting the best start possible. Ironically, in a game that primarily serves no requirement to do so, looking to other server types and unofficial for that punishment, it's a fascinating fix many of you feel for, and will all eventually get when a certain numbered 2 iteration is offered. And before we get to number 1, let's just have a quick special mention to the addictions that didn't just make the cut. So here it is in at number 1, taming. To make it anywhere in ARK, a basis needs to be served, and on an unlimited white coated plate it indeed does, as the goalposts are ever changing when it comes to taming. Amongst the hundreds of creatures out in the wild, all of them offer a chance of being completely different to the next, in both coloured appearance and stats. And with that there can feel a never-ending search as you knock out creature after creature, looking to secure the strongest possible version of your most prized possessions available. Switched completely on its head by the offerings of colours, near impossible to guarantee through mutations, as they invite you to breed into your lines, magnified by the seasonal events throughout the year. In a game that invites competition of being the best, the never-ending search for the best possible wild available is your ultimate addiction, and ultimately what you play ARK Survival Evolved for more than anything else. Thanks all for tuning in, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, comment below, let me know. What more top 10s would you like to see in future? My name's Raasclark, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.